Sure.
So I know that you kind of have been some issues with, speed and storing that many, waivers that you have to have legally. I assume you have to have these waivers.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
if something would happen to somebody at one of the races and they haven't signed the waiver form, I mean, we could get sued. So
Right.
obviously that's not something we want to go
Okay.
for.
And they can do it online, like beforehand.
Yeah, they can do it online ahead of time, but we find, there's a lot of people that do it last minute, and so there's probably, anywhere from 10 to 25%, depending on the race, that don't do it online.
Okay.
And so when they get there, we got to get a waiver signed, or they can't run, or we have a liability issue. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay. So what would you say? So I'm assuming that the biggest thing, you got to make sure that these people are covered, that you're covered, that they're covered.
Right.
That would probably be the most important thing then.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Just making sure that everybody is
Right.
where they need to be at and everything. Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of a pain, to be honest with you.
No, I'm sure. I was one of the participants that didn't do it.
Okay,
before,
so
I was one of those people, so I get it. And I kind of noticed how frazzled they kind of were.
Right.
It's like you have to have it. And
Right.
I was too focused on running that I'm like, oh shoot, okay, well I got to do this waiver and everything. So it would have been easier for me to do it, the night before. So I was one of those people giving you guys a hard time. So I guess tell me a little bit more about, what is the structure of the waiver? Tell me what needs to be covered. What is
Well,
that
so
waiver entailing?
so what happens is if you go to the race and you haven't gone online, we have to give you a form, and you fill out the form, and it's your name and your age and your home address and those kind of things. And you're signing a waiver that if you're injured or if something happens, that's literally beyond our control, that we're not liable. If you get struck by lightning, of course we stop the races if there's lightning. But if something like that would happen, that we're not responsible for that. And so then we've got to collect all of those paper waivers, and then these races are all over the country, so they got to all come back to to our headquarters,
Right.
and then we take those and scan those so that we have a digital record of those, and we got to keep those waivers for 5 years. And so we got to get the waivers back, we got to scan them, that takes time, and then we got to store them, and then if something came up and we had to find a particular waiver, it's not a really great storage situation, to find a particular waiver, from 3 years ago. So.
Okay. Do you keep, on each waiver, does it say, the time, location of where?
Yeah, it has the race identified and the date and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least you could kind of sort it, filter it
you
that
can
way.
kind of
If
filter it that
if
way.
it was digital, it would be
Right.
a very easy way to search it. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how exactly does that work in terms of getting all these physical copies back to the office? Is it literally just start stacking stuff, put it in a box and take it?
Well, we'll have depending on the size of the race, we'll have people there at the race, and we have a table where you've got to fill out your waiver forms, and it actually is when you check in. So we'll see if you've already done a waiver online. If you haven't, to get your number to be able to run, you've got to fill out that waiver form. So, we collect those all, and then we, depending on where they are, and again, we're all over the country, so we got to mail them back, and then I've got a staff of people that have to take those and scan, and just.
Okay. Losing a lot of administrative time.
It is, and sometimes
I'm assuming you have
scans,
to pay for the shipping to get it.
well, yeah, we got to pay, to mail them back, and then the time to scan them, and then there's issues with sometimes handwriting's doesn't scan very well, and so that's not very clear. So, it'd be ideal if there was a better way to do it. So.
Okay, well, especially, I was doing stuff on my end of what we talked about last time,
Right.
but from what you just said, in my end, I don't see why the AT&T mobile form doesn't fit you perfectly.
Okay.
So basically, it's like a 3-step process. It's a 3-step solution. Here, I can get you a little bit more of a visual here.
Okay.
So basically, it starts with the app. This is what we kind of start with first. This is customizable. So the Rainbow Ride, the Viking Dash, and all the other little ones that you have, obviously those are very unique. It's a very unique business that you're in.
Right.
So you're going to be able to customize this according to that.
Right.
So then you can send it to the app, make it as convenient as possible. You don't even have to be connected to Wi-Fi or a cellular system.
So if I'm not connected, because we do have some races that are out kind of, out in the Netherlands, if you will.
Right.
So if I'm not there, if I don't have Wi-Fi, how does it get to wherever it's going?
That's very smart IT people that I can't comprehend. But they made it to where you don't have to be connected. I mean, we can store it without.
Okay.
I mean, that's beyond me. I don't get the whole computer system of it. I'm not super tech savvy like that. But it is that easy. I mean, you don't even have to worry about using cellular data. And it works on any type of phone too. iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, anything.
Okay.
So then that basically goes from the app and it sends us to the web portal. That's what your administrators back at your office are going to be seeing. They're going to be able to track activity, manage it, absorb incoming data and send out outcoming data. The whole shebang. They're going to be able to do it through the web portal at their office.
So all these forms are going to come back electronically to me or to wherever. Can I? Oops.
Hi, Scott. This is just a reminder you have a meeting in 2 minutes.
Okay, that's my wife. She's not happy with me.
Okay.
So,
all right.
yeah.
I know you're crunched on time, so from the app to the web portal.
Well, I was going to ask, can I do reports from that? Can I take information and say so many women participated in this race versus men versus people over 18, under 18, that kind of thing?
Right. You're going to be able to sort that and be able to store it on many variety of sources. So you've got the cloud, send it as a PDF, store it however you choose to be the best way, because you got to do it for 5 years.
Okay, right.
So you've got 5,000 to 8,000 participants in each race. You got 35 races a year. You're a numbers guy. That's 175 low ball on it. Waivers you have to have a year.
Yeah.
So then for 5 years, in a 5-year time, you're going to have 875,000 waivers that you're going to have to store. The cloud, the Dropbox, SharePoint, anything. All these things are going to be able to store it for you.
Okay.
However you choose to do it. I mean, that's up to you. But, in terms, you're not going to have to worry about handling it. And it's easily searchable. So if you need to search, something happened to this woman at this race in this location, you can pinpoint that because with the app, it actually takes the time and location.
Now, when I see cloud, I also see $ signs. I always think that's expensive. Is the cloud expensive?
It literally is a virtual, and again, I'm not the tech savvy person, but it is like a virtual thing that where just data goes, I literally think up to. It just stores it.
Okay. Is it, so, I mean, this sounds like it'd be really, really nice. I mean, I could see some advantages, but so our budget, like everybody else's, is not growing, and it sounds like this is going to be more expensive than what I do today. Is that the case, you think? Or?
Believe it or not, in terms of a professional type of form, you can choose how to do it. You can commit to us for monthly basis, a year. Take your time of getting used to it. I'm not confident that if you want to take it monthly, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But we can start monthly if you'd like. Go to a year, go to 2 years.
Okay, the time is done.
Yep.
10 minutes goes pretty fast.
It does go really fast.
Yeah.
Darn it.
That's okay. Well, let's go next door and see what they say.
Okay.